Good afternoon and welcome to the second committee meeting of the day. This is the ERPS Committee, Employee Relations and Public Safety. I am Ladina Bolton, your Super District 7 Commissioner and Chair of the committee, joined by our other committee members, which are Commissioner Shakira Johnson and Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson. All right, we're going to jump right into the agenda, starting with the minutes 1284. Have all committee members had an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes, ma'am. At this time, I move to approve item 2025-1284.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, and we do have a few items. If the presentation is ready. I'm sorry, excuse me. Commissioner Shakira Johnson reminded me of something that we wanted to do today. We wanted to take just a moment in the ERPS committee to acknowledge our dear, I believe his title was Major Firefighter? Master Firefighter Font. He passed, saving some of our community members. He was
I confirmed that the vehicle was
well known in the fire community because he had served for so long, and he was looked at as a mentor by many. And so we just want to take a few minutes to acknowledge his service and just acknowledge his commitment to the county and the fire community. Thank you guys for that moment of silence. And I believe if you visit DeKalb County social media page, you will be able to see information about his memorial service. Did you have that, Commissioner?
Yes, it is on Thursday. He will be lying in state starting at 1 o'clock, and then the service starts at 2 at Truist Park. And if I may as well, he served out of Fire Station 24, which is in District 4, and I put a call out to the community to really make sure we're wrapping our arms around his fellow firefighters at Station 24 in this difficult time. And we just appreciate all of our first responders and all that they do for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to say anything as well, Commissioner Davis Johnson?
Yeah, I echo what Commissioner Johnson has stated. And my heart goes out to the family, to DeKalb County, because this is the second public safety employee that was killed during the line of duty within the last 2 to 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so I know it's difficult for many, and you and I want the family to know that they're in our thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. Commissioner Patrick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, as everyone else has already said, thank you to the firefighters, Master Firefighters family for his service. We are deeply indebted. First responders do not have an office job where they sort of know what to expect throughout the day. They are on the field or in the field facing challenges as they arise and have to be quick on their feet to react to certain situations. And unfortunately, as we found out a second time this year, not always is that successful. So we are very grateful to the service of the Master Firefighter as well as to all of our public safety service employees. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Commissioners. So at this time, we would like to move forward with the Employee Benefits Peer Group Study.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We were asked to present a peer study that compares DeKalb County's health and wellness plans with some of our peer groups. We may not have captured all of the counties that border our county, but we tried to get a representative number of counties, and we included the city of Atlanta also in this comparison. I would say that with a little bit of an asterisk, we were not able to get complete data from some of the cities and counties that we looked at. For instance, most of them did not post their premiums on their website. So a large part of the comparison is looking at the plan design and the richness of their benefits compared to DeKalb County. I would like to say, just for context, that for many, many years, DeKalb County would simply increase employee premiums.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
do you have a printout that we can look at?
I do apologize, Commissioners. I didn't bring a hard copy, but we have it on the
Okay.
screen. Mhm. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Apologize for that. So historically, we had a practice of that whenever healthcare costs increased, which I will say has been virtually every year for the last 15, the county in times past would simply pass that increase on to employees. Around 2013, 2014, we hired our first consulting firm that helped us to manage our very large budget for healthcare. We also needed assistance managing the complexities of the Affordable Care Act. But one of the value adds that our partnership with, in this case, Buck Consulting, we have Paul Kirsten with us today, one of the principals at Buck, they helped us to find other ways to just passing rate increases along to employees. And so for the first few years, we started looking at plan design. So when rates came in from our vendor partners, whether it was Cigna, Kaiser, or Anthem, we would try to change the plan design to offset what would have been a rate increase. And that was appropriate for a period of time, but if you continue changing your plan design, for example, raising deductibles and copays, it tends to water down the richness of the benefit. So we did that for a short period of time, and then we decided we need to keep the plan design stable where they are, so that when employees go to the doctor, they have a certain expectation of what their out-of-pocket cost would be. And so I'm happy to report that out of the last 9 years, we've only changed plan design once. And more importantly, in that 9-year period, we've had one rate increase. That is commendable. The administration has supported us. We'll be visiting them and Mr. COO and TJ Sigler in the next week or two, presenting our projected costs for 2026. And for each of the last 9 years, even though we've had, in some cases, double-digit increases, the county has absorbed the entirety of that increase and allowed employees' contributions to stay the same. On a personal note, my wife happens to work for one of the largest employers in the state and has done so for many years, and those premiums have gone up every year without fail, every year. So there's something to be said about keeping the employees' premiums constant, but also with understanding that that does not mean that costs have remained flat. Indeed, they've gone up each and every year. Two recent initiatives that we were able to achieve with the support of the administration was to provide, and this is for retention and recruitment, particularly for police, we're able to provide zero-cost premiums for sworn police officers.
Excuse me, one more time. Should we be moving through the slides already, or are you
No,
still
not yet,
introducing?
not yet. We're just introducing.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. And so for sworn police officers, if they elect the health savings account, their premiums are zero. If they elect any one of the other richer plans, they would just pay the difference between that plan cost and the HSA premium. I'm not sure any other local government is offering zero-cost health care to police, but we're doing that here at DeKalb, and that also includes dental and vision. And we think that's a tremendous value add for policemen. And finally, about 2 years ago, there was a younger employee who tragically died, not on the job, but in an accident away from work. And that younger employee had not elected life insurance. Even though the premiums for younger employees are incredibly low, people in their 20s and 30s tend to not purchase life insurance. And so there was a GoFundMe, and that was, a very disturbing time. And so the administration said, go out and find the cost of what it would be to cover every employee's total life insurance premium. And we did that about 3 years ago now. And so now we don't rely on employees or worry about employees not making an open enrollment election to purchase life insurance. All employees have it, and the benefit is 2.25 times their salary. Our average employee makes about $50,000 a year, so they would have a benefit over $100,000 should they die unexpectedly. We think that was a tremendous value add for DeKalb County benefits. And so I wanted to make those introductory remarks. I should also say that on a gross basis, the county pays about $125 million a year for health care, so that's a major line item in the budget. But these are some of the things that we've done to stay competitive. And I'd like to introduce now, if I may, Paul Kirstein, principal with it's now Gallagher Consulting, and he's going to dive into the details of the handout of the presentation.
I did have a question about something you mentioned before we get into it. You indicated we have $0 cost health care for our police officers. That's for the individual or family included?
We did include family coverage for the policemen, and so they would just be paying the difference between our low-cost plan, which is the HSA, and if they choose the HMO or POS plan, they just pay the difference. But to answer your question, it does include family coverage.
It does include, okay.
I had a question on that one as
Go
well.
ahead.
Is it possible for us to look at the cost for including our fire in that benefit as well?
Absolutely, Commissioner Johnson. We'd be glad to crunch those numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Has it been investigated previously and we just haven't been able to move forward on it?
We did, just because we've done this for a while. Typically, when one group gets something another group asks. So we actually have crunched those numbers. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it was similar to police because their head counts are not too terribly different.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
just following up with what Commissioner Johnson had mentioned, is it possible to just make that across the board for public safety?
We can cost any option and provide those costs for consideration.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if we could see the crunching of the numbers for the addition of fire, but then also public safety, if we could separate those out so we can see what it looks like.
Okay. And just to be clear, would that include the sheriff's agency?
I believe so. Were you including the sheriff, Commissioner Patrick, when you said public safety, including the sheriff's office?
We can. I guess let's ask the question and then see what the results are, and also track back where the funding sources come with that to support it.
Okay, so I guess it's 3 assignments, one for fire, one for public safety, including sheriff, and one, I hate to say not including on camera, but you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, if you say public safety, you're going to have to include 911 also. And so the question is, where does the funding come from? And so we have to, now, some of the things that we've done in the past to attract and retain officers was to give them that extra benefit, you know. But when you start opening it up to all public safety, and I would love to do it, you know, but you got to have the funding to do it. And so I think that that's something that we must take into consideration. Our hearts are there, but are our pocketbooks there?
And if I could speak to what I'm assuming to be the reason you specifically asked about the sheriff is because that's a constitutional office, but all the rest of public safety, I'm assuming, will be included in the estimate. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. You wanted to.
Just one brief comment. So, Madam Chair and committee members, when we initially began the payment for different benefits, especially in police, We were looking at our recruitment and retention strategy, as Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson mentioned. So as we begin exploring other potential beneficiaries, we will want to be mindful of those entities who are having recruitment and/or retention challenges, because otherwise to do that for public safety employees that are not having recruitment and retention, and then you may have planning, finance, a lot of other departments who are similarly suited, you know what I mean? So we would be happy to take a look at it, and the funding sources differ. If your 911 is paid for essentially by phone fees, your 911 fee is paid on your cell phone and your regular phone. And then you have different funding sources, fire, police. The sheriff, general fund, DA has public safety personnel. So, the list can get expansive. But we'll be happy to take a look.
Absolutely, thank you. And I appreciate you saying that for the folks who are watching, and I get lots of emails asking, why haven't certain benefits been included long before now? It's because it can be very convoluted, and you have to have the funding. As you indicated, there has to be a need, as you indicated, so that does help the public to understand why we can't just do it all the time. So thank you for that. Okay, so you guys ready to get into the presentation?
We are.
Madam Chair, committee members, I should have asked Larry this, Mr. Jacobs, but how much time have you allotted for us today? Because there's quite a bit of information here. Are you looking at 5 minutes?
5 to 7 minutes. I think we used quite a bit of time already.
Okay, yep, all right. Oops, I think I went the wrong way. Excuse me for... Well, Larry, I may need help. Oh, except the red that...
I think it's this guy here. There we go. Thank you. No problem.
Okay. Very high level. This first slide just reminds us, the background is that we have 5 plans available to the active employees. 3 are self-funded, meaning this is coming out of the county's budget for employee benefits, health care, and the other 2 are fully insured with Kaiser. And Kaiser at some point said, we really want to have a high deductible with an HSA also, so we're keeping the members' interest, and we added that as the last plan. The high-level view of kind of what makes DeKalb County's offerings different from a competing county where we may be losing people you've trained or talent. It has to do with the out-of-pocket costs. So there's 2 primary drivers here. One is the plan design, so the deductibles, the coinsurance, the copays, the out-of-pocket limits, the pharmacy. Those result in members having costs that they incur when they have a claim. The second would be the premium that we charge the members, and that will vary. One group we looked at, for example, Henry County, they pay the entire cost for all employees, 100%, but they don't pay for dependents. So you'll get that sort of combination. Others, I would say, like Gwinnett, it's a young county. I mean, you began in 1822. We have about the same number of active people as retirees. We have an older population, high age 40, compared to another young county that might only be 38. That difference makes a significant cost difference in terms of the charges in claims. So again, a young person here might see a higher salary. They might see a lower contribution at another county, but it could have a lot to do with just those differences. What oftentimes a younger person won't think about is that, well, what are the deductibles? What are the coinsurance? So some of the differences here on the executive summary, we do believe that the 5 plans you offer are comprehensive. They give people a choice between Kaiser and a self-funded plan. The Anthem self-funded plan does allow people to go out of state. You can get to MD Anderson for your cancer in Houston. You can go to Sloan Kettering in New York City. So people that want to go to the best kind of world-class facilities, they may be interested in that Anthem type approach, whereas those that are fine with having the choice of Kaiser here locally, the clinics, it's a good strategy. They're not interested in looking for that. I think the things we see about the DeKalb plan in these pages. We won't get to every one of them, but we feel that our deductibles are competitive. They're fair, they're not extremely high. Our out-of-pockets are a little bit high, and that was a choice that we made over the years, that those who have health care claims should have some participation in that cost. So people do share in the cost through the coinsurance, so our out-of-pockets will show up on these charts as being higher than others. Let's get to a couple of examples, because I know we might have just a couple minutes left. So on page 5, that's up to me to move this, excuse me. Again, it's an eye chart, but there's so many details about health benefits. So at the top of the page, you'll see medical. Medical includes deductibles, out-of-pockets. In the middle of the page, you'll see pharmacy. And at the bottom, where available, we have what the contributions are that the members pay. I would say that in general, because you see a lot of black font between Cobb and DeKalb, it is a good sign that we're competitive with what that county is doing. Where you see green, it means that our benefits are better than that county. Where you see red, it means that their benefits are better. But in general, when we compare ourselves to Cobb, we're very much similar. And likewise, the contributions at the bottom may be a little bit different, but generally, we don't see any situation here where their county is paying 100% of the cost. So these are the details. Again, I don't know how much you want to dig into this, but I would say that an HMO plan to the far left. Yes, sir. Okay, all right. So let's move on to Gwinnett County, because I think that's a little bit of a different age group, and also you can see a lot more green. What this tells you is the county, Gwinnett, excuse me, yep, thank you, Larry. This county has chosen to have higher deductibles, higher out-of-pocket limits, and although they don't show what they charge the members at the bottom of the page, we would expect that a person here who may be considering going to work there would find that their contribution will be lower. But they don't look at what the plan design is. So they don't look at the fact that these deductibles are all over $1,000 compared to our HMO starting at $500 on the self-insured plan and at $350 for the Kaiser plan. So those are some of the homework assignments that many people don't think about. They look right at the cost of it and what that means to their paycheck. So again, where you see a lot more green on other pages that are in this report, that tells you that our plan is richer, better, we'll call it. And where you see red, it means that that county or that city has chosen to ask for less money out of pocket on plan design. So I think we're out of time, but are there any closing questions that you might have about the benchmarking comparison?
Were there any questions from committee members? Commissioner Patrick, did you have any questions? I think we may need just more time to review and digest some of the information that you shared, but you gave us a really good starting point for comparisons to see where we fall. And you gave a lot of the wins early on, so we may either email any questions or have you guys come back after we've had a bit more time to review what you've shared. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just for a quick read, green is good, red is bad.
Thank you. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move forward with our next presentation. It has been the intention of the committee to have conversations surrounding the M&J assessment, especially considering that I believe it was 5 public safety departments were included in the 18 that were evaluated. 6. Oh, wow, okay. I just know we had the most. And so this is a great time to go ahead and have the presentation and conversation surrounding what has been on our minds for some time, and that's the build out of the real-time crime center. So if we could load the presentation entitled Digital Shield for a Safer DeKalb.
So, Madam Chair, so I just want to make sure we're clear, because you have two different things. The operational assessment, and we'll be prepared to come back with a strategy to deal with that. I've had some conversation with Mr. Allen, and I think we're getting a general idea of what you will be looking for, similar to what Fab was talking about. So we've been talking to Ms. Cisse, who we have brought on board as of last week, and she will be working with us to develop a comprehensive strategy to have informational discussions in each of the committee meetings. As it relates to the digital shield, that is item number 1343, and we're certainly prepared to talk about that if that's your pleasure.
Yes, sir, and if I confused you guys with my comments, I apologize. I was trying to make the connection between some of the agenda items that have been made an attempt to improve public safety in the county. And of course, whenever those come up, I always make mention that it's important to dive into some of the observations that were made.
Absolutely.
And I do believe that even this build out will help address some of the concerns that were presented in some of those agenda items, though we have not had an opportunity to take a deep dive into the assessment. So
Yes, ma'am.
hopefully that clears that up a little bit.
Not only does it clear it up, you're spot on. And just like even the last conversation where Mr. Jacobs was talking about the benefits that have been offered for law enforcement, and as we started off the meeting, acknowledging the tragic loss of one of our firefighters. We are committed as an institution to doing all that we can to enhance and increase public safety. And the discussion today is an exciting one, to talk about how we can invest in a way that takes us from becoming where we are into truly moving into the 21st century and being a state-of-the-art digital enforcement entity. So Chief Pedrick will lead the discussion and talk about the investment that we'll be looking to commit to over the next decade that will take us from where we are now to implementing a state-of-the-art real-time crime center, to having over 300 cameras deployed throughout, license plate cameras throughout the county, having pan-tilt cameras, having drones, and really a truly masterful design that Chief Pedrick and others have come up with. So we're definitely proud to present this today and look forward to your support. So Chief Pedrick, if you could walk everyone through, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is actually very exciting. We've put a lot of work. Multiple teams have been working on this strategy for a long time to basically put DeKalb County public safety in the forefront for technology-driven policing. And we believe that we've captured an opportunity to do so. And I'm going to go through these slides with you with the ultimate goal for this digital shield for a safer DeKalb is to protect our communities, empower our officers, and enhance public safety and confidence in public safety as a whole. So as you see here, and I know many of you have the slides in front of you, is a letter from Madam CEO, and she is indicating that this initiative represents a transformative moment for public safety, not just for DeKalb County, but throughout the region, if not the nation. Digital Shield is designed to extend officer reach without adding a staffing drain. We have consulted with other jurisdictions. We've toured many different real-time crime centers. We've toured many different operation centers, looking into their technology and what technology drives their initiatives. And we feel like we've captured the best for DeKalb County. Other jurisdictions have seen crime reductions with their strategies, faster case resolutions, and a stronger partnership with the community through these digital platforms. So what Flock Safety does with the Digital Shield concept is we're leveraging the technology to detect, deter, and respond to crime faster. But I think the biggest key component is to detect any crime, and then our response with that detection is going to prevent crime and deter crime later on as we move forward and as our implementation moves out. What this does, it provides 24/7 coverage far beyond what human resources can do. We have officers all throughout the county. They're seen, but with this digital technology, the camera systems and the implementation that we're looking for gives us a much greater footprint to have eyes in areas that we can't always get to as fast as we would like. It establishes DeKalb County as a leader in data-driven technology. What we're looking at is a flock operating system, and it's a huge component for our real-time crime center. What the operating system does is it centralizes all feeds, video feeds, license plate recognition, body-worn cameras that the officers wear. We'll get into more about the drones. We're looking for 4 drones in this platform. It also centralizes our computer-aided dispatch and our records management system. Not only does it do that for the real-time crime center, but it turns any laptop in a police car into the same command center that can be specific to that territory. So officers will be able to drive down into their territory the information that is relevant to their area that they're working. But this entire flock operating system forms the backbone of the digital shield system in support of our real-time crime center. This is the driving force. Drones is first responder. A lot of people, when they think about the drones, they think about you pull it out of the box, you have the handheld device or sometimes virtual reality goggles. These are completely different. These drones as first responders, they're aerodomes, and we're going to show a video at the end of this presentation to give you a firsthand look of the capabilities as drone as first responders. They fly far beyond visual line of sight. They cover 3.5 miles in any direction. And it's very similar to having extra helicopters, what these drones are able to do for us and the coverage in the county. Many of you know about the LPRs, the license plate readers, or license plate recognition cameras. We currently have a good amount of those, but this initiative will bring our total of license plate recognition cameras up to 271 countywide. What the license plate recognition cameras do is basically help us with vehicle fingerprinting, if you will. We get those tag numbers, we're able to identify those vehicles. But this program with Flock operating system and the Flock freeform, it takes us to a whole nother level of being able to dive in and search our databases. We may not have tag numbers. We may have vehicle descriptions. Take tire dumping, for example. If we have information that it's a white pickup truck with tires in the bed of the vehicle, we can search that information, and this system will find any vehicles that have hit on any of our cameras across this platform that match that description. If we have a kidnapping and we have just a vehicle description, we're able to enter that data with that information we have, absent a license plate, and still be able to dive down and find matches to those vehicles that really drives our enforcement efforts and our investigative efforts. So it provides critical investigative leads in real time. When I was on the street, it was we just put out a lookout across the radio, and any officers that heard it would say, "Okay, I'll look for the car too," and that was the extent of it. This changes the game for us when we really do say be on the lookout for something. In addition to the LPRs, we have a total of several hundred, I can get the exact number, I think it's later in the slide, but we're incorporating pan-tilt zoom cameras. We do not have these now. And this is your typical surveillance cameras, very different than the license plate readers and the license plate recognition. Pan-tilt zoom will pick up on any movement, any identity in any area where we strategically place these cameras. They have the capability to detect specific information. If we're looking for a specific vehicle, they can also auto-track. So if we type in that we wanted to track this one particular person or this one particular vehicle, these pan-tilt zooms will move and stay on that object during the time that we're investigating that specific incident. It also has what's called a guardian mode. The guardian mode will, for example, if we have cameras in our parks and we know people are not allowed to be in the park after dark, we can put a pan-tilt zoom camera in that park area, set it to guardian mode. Anytime it picks up any motion, it begins tracking. So it'll track as long as that object is within that camera frame, it'll track that object, and it gives us more intelligence, more information, and better response to any of those. As I mentioned before, the freeform search tools through the Flock operating system, it allows us to search any video, including the pan-tilt zoom, the license plate readers, and any camera systems that's integrated with our operating system. Well, one of the interesting things about this as well is you can type in, certain information. Example here, it has "wash me" written on the window. If you look at these images, it picks up that type of detailed information. Another interesting thing that we find a lot of times in narcotics operations and things like that, they travel in tandem. There'll be multiple vehicles. We get into situations where they run in groups. So we're able to multi-geo search and see if the same vehicles are traveling together to give you more investigative intelligence. They're hitting on different camera systems. They're hitting in the same locations. In addition to that, and I think I'll touch on it a little bit more later, but it'll help us with burglaries. If we don't have a lot of information, but we can search through specific burglaries and then find that same vehicles hitting in the same area as many of our burglaries are occurring, again, it gives us more investigative analysis. A little bit about the Flock 911 integration. It's a live 911 system. As I mentioned before, if an officer is out on a call and or assigned to a territory, he can dive down his information to any calls that are relevant to his territory. So even before the call is dispatched, he can listen to 911 calls. He can get the information. He's not waiting for the dispatcher to type that information in and send it to his screen. He's getting real-time information before those calls are even dispatched. That is going to change the response. It's going to give us quicker information, fresher information that is not being translated through an operator and then to a dispatcher and then to the officer. The officer is able to get that information real-time through Flock 911. The 911 system is integrated into this Flock operating system. Another exciting opportunity that comes with this package with the Flock group is they have implemented a community camera partnership. There's additional cameras that can be deployed in specific areas, shopping centers, schools, residential areas. We've had some issues with construction sites in the past where there's burglaries occurring in the construction areas. We may be able to capitalize on those opportunities and expand our coverage without adding any additional county resources through this community camera partnership. It also builds community buy-in and collaboration with others, and it's an opportunity that we can seize on through this program. I've had several conversations with many commissioners in the past about our mobile security trailers. They're a great asset. Currently, we have 2 that we deploy quite often. With this package comes an additional 3. So it would more than double our fleet of mobile security trailers. We use these as special events, high crime areas. It can be deployed quickly within 30 minutes, give us time to hook it up to the hitch on the back of the car, deploy it, put the cameras in the air, and it's fully monitored with zero maintenance. It provides a great visible deterrence, and it also records and collects any data that we may need in that area. It gives us the ability to move those cameras into different locations and develop a strategy based on whatever the response is. So a wing cloud and gateway, these, what this does is this integrates many of the cameras throughout the county that are privately owned or otherwise owned that are not part of our system or purchased through our process, but it consolidates live and recorded videos from the public and other private cameras. It integrates existing camera systems directly into the Flock operating system as long as those individuals want to do so. We are working on this. We have this through a different program called Fusus Now and through Connect DeKalb, but Flock offers the same thing in one operating system, what just makes everything a one-stop shop for us. It creates a single video network accessible in real time. Again, an officer in the car can have that information on his laptop, or we can be working on a multi-jurisdictional operation in our real-time crime center. There are many opportunities here. So what comes with everything that I just talked about? Hardware, software, a full inventory includes the operating system, our license plate recognition systems, pan, tilt, zoom, and fixed cameras. Drone is a first responder, 4 drones, 3 trailers. I haven't mentioned yet the gunshot detection. Gunshot detection is included in this package. There are 2 systems that one each covers a 1 square mile area. The gunshot detection picks up those signals of any gunshots and sends it straight to the flock operating system quicker than a 911 call. So we'll be able to have that information a lot quicker before someone calls 911. We've seen in many cases people choose not to call 911. So we're missing some of that information that may be occurring in an area that we'll be able to capture through gunshot detection. It's also included, as I mentioned, Flock 911 and Freeform. It's a comprehensive system covering all layers and in a response for a digital system for DeKalb County Police Services. Additional services includes all implementation, configuration, and integration. All costs are covered in this program. All professional services are included. And with everything in one place through our Flock operating system, it ensures seamless onboarding and a seamless system launch. The requested amount to increase this, the contract, as Mr. CEO said, is over 10 years. The total cost is $18.9 million, but it is a phased approach, and it's laid out in these phases as you see on the screen. Begins with $561,000 in year 1, but it provides us an expected budget and sustainability. We're not going to come back asking for more money. One of the things that's included in this contract, as we all know, technology changes, upgrades occur. Those upgrades are included in this 10-year contract. So we will have support throughout the entire 10-year contract and a comprehensive system with Flock safety. So how are we going to use all the stuff that I mentioned? There's going to be multi-layered deployment strategies using hotspots, which is our crime data, identifying our most troubled areas. They would be throughout the county. We will have an emphasis on many of the tire dumping incidents and illegal dumping, regardless if it's tires or otherwise. We will use the cameras to prioritize areas that we've seen a lot of the street racing. A lot of those events are taking place. This will give us more coverage throughout the county. Again, with the live cameras and the pan tilt zoom cameras, that's going to be a game changer for us because our license plate recognition, it's fixed. We'll pick up an image, but the surveillance cameras will allow us to track further, longer, and get more information throughout the security of the network. So it creates a comprehensive digital safety net countywide. It allows us to detect, investigate, and respond. We're able to detect through our enhanced camera systems and our Flock operating system and our Flock freeform searches. We can investigate more through multi-geo searching, and our responses are going to be faster through Flock 911 and drone as first responder. This connects the full crime response cycle. A little bit about the drone as first responder. They are operated through our network. They can be operated through the real-time crime center. Like I said before, it's not a line-of-sight operation. We can key in the data that we want that drone to respond to, and it sends it. They're immediately deployable from strategic locations throughout the county. So it does give us a quicker response time through the drone as first responder program. The benefits include more eyes across the county, specifically officer safety and operational efficiency. With the information that we have, we will be able to better inform our officers of what they're responding to before they get there. They will have more information. It will make them safer. It will increase operational efficiency because we will know what to deploy. We won't have to get there and then figure out what we need. It supports economic development by creating safe communities throughout DeKalb County. With that, this initiative is a huge step for public safety in DeKalb County, but it will position us, DeKalb County, as a national leader in technology-driven policing and it's going to be something that everybody's going to want to come and see. So with that, we do have the drone as a first responder video, if I may show that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna go check in.
Okay, see you in a little bit.
Yo, it's a nice car, man.
Thanks, man.
Where are the keys?
I don't want any trouble, man. Oh my God. Just take it. I don't want any trouble, dude. They're in the car.
What happened? Are you okay?
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, my car just got stolen.
Is anyone hurt?
We're good.
Call coming in.
What type of vehicle is it?
It's a tan Challenger.
Help is on the way.
Thank you.
Possible carjacking in the Creekside Inn.
Copy that. Launching drone.
Police have been dispatched. Officers are currently...
Air 1 is en route.
3260, I'm en route.
Pulling the camera up from the hotel. I'm checking the recorded video. Arctic 1 to units. The vehicle has black racing stripes. Suspect description is white male, red shirt, black hoodie.
Run that vehicle through freeform.
I got the plate. I'm adding it to the hot list now.
1580, en route from Birch and 9.
ETA, 1 minute.
That tag just hit on Maple and 5th.
Air 1 to units.
I'm en route.
30 seconds out.
260, I'm rerouting.
Air 1 to units. I have visual on the suspect vehicle. Direction of travel southbound on Elm Street, approaching 2nd.
1580 to 260, I'm right behind you.
The suspect vehicle is pulling to the park on Maple and 5th.
3260 headed towards the east entrance.
Suspect vehicle has stopped at the east end of the park. Suspect is still in the vehicle.
Police, let me see your hands. Open the door. Step out of the vehicle. Face away from us. Back up. All right, on the ground. On the ground. All right, got you covered.
3261 in custody.
So, go on.
So that, that gives an all-encompassing look with all of the operating systems and the integration that this does for us. It is, again, a transformational process with technology policing, and it is a game changer that we're excited to have here in DeKalb County.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to start with committee members. Commissioner Johnson, you have questions or comments?
I do. The video was amazing. It kind of helps answer one of my first questions. How will our system tie in with other municipalities? Saw in the video that was done with you, so I assume that we'll be fully integrated with them. But what about our smaller cities that don't have those capabilities? How can we integrate them? Would it be part of the service delivery strategies, or just how would that work?
I'm glad you asked that. So the integration would definitely come with Dunwoody. Many of our other agencies do have flock operating systems already in place, so it's fully integratable. And then a lot of the private flock cameras throughout would also be integrated in the process.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. And I had a couple more. So with the portable security, and you may have said this and I missed it, how many are we planning to add with this? Because I think we have a few, right?
The trailers?
Yeah, the trailers.
Yes, ma'am. We're adding 3 more.
Adding 3 more. Okay. And then I think I have one more. For the cost breakdown, so there is built-in escalation as we're, each year we're paying a little bit different, but we've built in some type of escalation so that inflation or something happens, we're not hit with.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It's a total cost, and it does, phase in as time progresses. And as the technology changes, that's included as well.
Okay. And final question. You mentioned the drone operators. So do we have the existing space for these additional operators? I assume we might need additional staff for that. In the real-time crime center, are we going to have to build out something additional, or do we have existing space that can get?
The real-time crime center is included for the drone operators. There will be crime analysts and officers, that we will have specific training for, and they will obtain the FAA licenses.
But that's all built into this
Yes,
total
ma'am.
cost?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Davis Johnson?
Yeah, I don't have I don't have any questions because yeah, Chief has most of them, and then this was a very intensive package. So I would just like to say I'm amazed by what technology and advancement does, and it also can save lives. You know, not only the public, but our officers as
Absolutely.
well. And so I'm for it. I'm excited. I salute my CEO for that outward vision to bring us into this. And I just look forward to getting it started.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis Johnson. I'm going to ask a few questions, and then I'll go to our other commissioners to join in as well. But I do want to say thank you to the commissioners. I know over the past couple of months, many of us have tried to allocate funds toward flock cameras or different security measures for our constituency. And all of our commissioners were patient when you guys requested that we just hold off. You were working on a plan, and we're going to codify all of the ideas that we've been throwing at you guys. You put it into a compromise of a masterpiece so that we all can be included. I know you guys had some amazing ideas because you work in this every day, and we just want to do as much as we can to support. So thank you to the commissioners for your patience and support of our public safety department, and thank you guys for working with our CEO and all of the administration to make sure we pull everybody's ideas together. So I do have a few questions. So I know that Dunwoody has a model system, but are there any other jurisdictions that are a little larger or maybe near our size across the state or the nation that has a similar model? And the reason I'm interested in who else has it is because at first glance, this looks amazing. It looks perfect. It's hard to identify any gaps in service, but we know nothing is perfect, so we just want to be familiar up front if there were any concerns or setbacks that were communicated, so we can start thinking forward about how to fill some of those gaps or to support you in the areas that there may have been issues.
Yes, ma'am. So in this process, we visited DeKalb County, City of Atlanta, Gwinnett County. Many of them had real-time crime centers, and we've learned from their mistakes. We asked those tough questions. We asked what they would have done differently, what they would have changed had they knowing what they know now when they were building out. So all of that was in consideration in this program and in this research that we have done to come up with this solution. In addition to this, we have reached out to independent consulting police experts, retired police chiefs, and others to give their opinion on the assessment of this package, and they agree that this is going to put DeKalb County Police Department in the forefront of technology-driven policing, and we will have a state-of-the-art real-time crime center if this is approved and fully implemented.
Wonderful. And I don't have any slide numbers, but on the slide that says drone as first responder, it shows that they can fly for 42 minutes of flight time and 25 minutes on scene. They can go as far as 3.5 miles. Are those limits based on the frequency that the drones would need to be charged?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And in the docking station, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but in the docking stations, as soon as they return home, they immediately replace battery and can be redeployed.
Okay. So, and you kind of alluded to what my leading question was, is whether we have docking stations strategically placed around the county so they don't necessarily have to go all the way back home depending on how far out they've gone? Or do they have to go back to home base?
Each would be specific to their docking system.
Okay.
But that's why we're asking for 4 in this platform to get a large coverage area throughout the county so that those, it would almost be like a territory car. It's a territory drone that would be assigned to that area.
Okay. And on the next slide that is titled License Plate Reader Cameras, it appears that these, like some of the other equipment, will be powered by solar panels. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's included in the $18 million that was requested. That isn't a separate cost, operation or installation. The solar panels are included.
All included.
Okay.
As well as the permitting.
As well as the permitting. And on the slide that reads free form search continued, on that slide you were speaking about how officers would be able to basically dock into the platform and use it, whether they're in the field or on their computers in their vehicle, or I'm assuming their work computers as well. So would the officers, not those who are specifically trained to be a part of the real-time crime center, but all of the other officers, how many additional hours of training or weeks of training will they need to master the use of this new platform? And will it require refamiliarization training? Because this is a lot of technology that is not the norm for our police department, let alone any other police department. So I would anticipate a lot of additional training hours in order for them to be able to use it effectively.
Yes, ma'am. And the training would be user-specific. I mean, we would have some users that would have a deeper knowledge of the technology and its uses versus patrol investigations, but it would be an ongoing training process. We would utilize roll calls. Flock safety would come out, train the trainer type of operations. This would be a consistent training process until everyone was comfortable with their level of use.
Okay. And on the portable security slide, this mobile trailer, this mobile camera reminds me of something similar to what DEMA has. Of course, theirs is much bigger, bulkier, and it has a lot more going on. But I was curious to know, in the event of a major emergency situation, would your equipment be able to interface with DEMA's portable surveillance equipment as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are they using the same vendor? Do you know?
The trailers that we have now were purchased through UASI grant, and they're called Compass. It's a different company, but we can still integrate through the Flock operating system.
Okay. And then I wrote my question on the inventory slide, but I don't remember what you said to prompt the question that I have. But I am thinking that the system can provide lots and lots of information. As a scientist, I love data, but I also like the time to be able to review and digest the data and have enough team members to help me synthesize what all of that would mean, the conclusion. So ultimately, I was thinking it's great to have all this information, but will we have the personnel to actually respond to the influx of notifications? Because you did indicate that we would even, and I say we because we're a team, we would even receive notifications that folks wouldn't normally call in, like gunshot detection. A lot of times folks don't call it in, and now we're gonna get quite a bit of that. And if I'm honest, I hear it probably every other night where I live. And so is there a strategy for it to make sure we have the personnel to actually efficiently and proficiently use all this new information and technology, or new information specifically that we will be receiving, and it won't just be stored in the database to say we have access to it?
Yes, ma'am. So our intent, as recruiting ramps up, and we've done very well with recruiting, not only recruiting, but retention and rehires. As that ramps up, our intent is to have our real-time crime center operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, using mostly civilian crime analysts.
Okay.
They will be operating in that real-time crime center, and as you mentioned, the gunshot detection, and we do expect those to give multiple alerts, but we will also overlay that with camera systems as well. So we may not be able to dispatch an officer immediately to the area, but we will have operators in the real-time crime center that can pull up those cameras and better inform any officers that do respond on what they're actually looking for.
Okay. I know what you said, but what I heard was jobs for civilians.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think, yeah, Commissioner Johnson heard that too. Okay. I think I have one or two more. Give me just a sec. I thought I did. I have to find it. So I'm going to just take this time to allow one of the other commissioners to ask their questions while I look for my last one. Commissioner Messiah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chief, just want to say, I've been one of those that have been reaching out in terms of the mobile security trailers, so I'll own that. I'm really excited about it, just in case you haven't seeing everyone's faces. We just up here giddy. Looked over to Commissioner Patrick, and we're just, like geeks up here, just really excited about, this opportunity and what it's going to mean for the citizens of DeKalb County. As it relates to, I guess, an uptick in terms of the additional calls, it sounds like there's already mechanisms and you thought ahead to address those issues. And, I'm presuming just being on the cutting edge of technology, it'll help us to better attract and retain officers, so that's going to help us out a bit as well. But I'm curious about the evidence sharing, because a big part of, addressing these issues from a criminal perspective is to be able to prosecute the offenders, after the crime has been committed. So can you speak to what mechanisms may be in place for ascertaining and sharing evidence?
Specific to just the video surveillance evidence, or?
Videos, photos, and, I saw an app, and, there's a whole lot of different systems in place, and I'm presuming that, there's great mechanisms in place for ascertaining, the evidence through videos and the like. But particularly being able to share those with ease, for instance, to neighboring or other jurisdictions, police force, or solicitors, DA's office, but just being able to share that evidence for prosecution purposes.
Yes, ma'am. So even outside of the operating system itself, our records management system has a evidence portal for digital evidence. And the DA's office, solicitor's office, they already have access to that information through our records management system. But if not, we would be able to transfer that data to them for prosecution or to other agencies. We do that commonly when we go in and retrieve data from other agencies as well to put into our evidence portals.
Okay. So we just utilize the evidence portals that exist presently, or does it come with any updated, upgraded mechanisms and sharing?
This doesn't have a specific evidence platform.
Okay.
We want to keep it specific to our records management system, case specific, and that's once we identify it as evidence, it gets the case number and it goes into our records management system in that evidence portal.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, because again, prosecution is big, and we have a number of constituents that want to know, what information was shared, do they have everything they need to make sure you can prosecute, particularly when we're dealing with things when speeding and the like, and, the racing, and so it seems like they could very much stay on top of the folks, but just was curious as to sharing that information. But thank you so much. I'm, again, very excited and to be a part of this experience and what we're doing here. I yield back to you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Commissioner Patrick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chief, this is a fantastic presentation. Thank you to CEO for having this as a push. I guess my first question to you is can you briefly describe the strategy between choosing a license plate reader, a video, or the pan, tilt, zoom cameras? How do you know the right one to put in the right spot, basically?
Again, it depends on, it's crime specific in many cases. The license plate recognition gives us a broader approach to strategically place throughout the county. Our pan, tilt, zooms and surveillance cameras, fixed cameras, those are more strategic toward a specific crime that we are facing in specific areas, and those will give us better leverage, again, to the street racing and things like that. When we look at the license plate recognition, we look at ingress, egress more. When we look at the pan, tilt, zoom, and the fixed cameras, we're looking at being able to capture more digital evidence from those surveillance platforms.
Okay. Does that also, it seems to imply, though, that you have the ability to put certain cameras at a certain place for a duration and then relocate them? Is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay. Another question for you. When I have spoken with other agencies and gone to GMA training as well as ACCG training, there's always a contractor there that says that these cameras can also do traffic counts for planning and zoning and transportation. Has there been any conversation about having other departments within the county be able to integrate in and use these for other services?
Yes, sir. They did mention a whole suite of opportunities for the county that would be capable through this platform.
You got a thumbs
As the
up.
experts, Flocksman.
You got 2 thumbs up. That's okay, great. For the gunshot detection, I just want to say that as a Doraville councilman, we had installed tornado sirens, and the next step was to finally get funding for the gunshot detection. We never were able to do that in the time I was there, but to hear that this is happening, that's fantastic. That is, I can recall firecrackers going off and people would report them as gunshots, as well as vehicles backfiring every once in a while, and this is a fantastic tool, so thank you for that. When it comes to accidents and damage to this equipment, will the county have to cover the cost for replacements if something gets damaged, someone drives into a pole and takes down the camera and damages it, or is that something built into the contract?
They cover it.
Thank goodness, okay. Next question, drones in PDK airspace. Simply having the licensed operator, they would be able to operate around PDK with no concerns?
Yes, sir. It would follow all FAA regulations.
Okay, perfect. And then my usual question, if there's a way just to confirm where the existing cameras are, particularly in District 1, I would be very, very grateful.
Yes, sir. We're missing 2 for you, I believe, aren't we?
I think so. Okay. And I know you had sent over a request for some of the legislation. If we haven't gotten that over to you, if you just send that request one more time, and I'll make sure we get it taken care of immediately. Yes, Chief, thank you very much. I'm very grateful.
Thank you. Were there any follow-up questions from committee members? Yes.
Do you have an ask today?
Do pass.
Sorry.
Yes.
What was the question?
An ask for today.
Ask. I mean, is this?
Yes, so this item is before you as an agenda item. It has gone through audit, and the auditor was so kind as to do an emergency review so that we can keep the timeline. So he has reviewed it and he has approved it. So we would request a due pass to the full board.
I make a motion if everyone is.
Oh, I had my last 2 questions. Okay. I figured them out. And so can you state for the sake of the public why the sense of urgency for this to be approved so quickly?
Yes, so it is our goal to get the real-time crime center up and running as quickly as possible. Both not only the CEO and the board have all made public safety a priority. And it has been evident between the raises for police officers, the changing in benefits, which has met with unprecedented success. This is another critical leg to that stool in terms of welcoming in digital technology. In the budget for 2025, the board allocated $2 million for a real-time crime center. That real-time crime center is well underway, and we anticipated it being up, by the end of the year. The goal is to not only have it up with the existing flock cameras, but to have what we're characterizing as a digital shield in place so that all areas throughout the county can be sufficiently covered by this technology. We also recognize that although we've had a lot of success with the recruitment and retention as of late, there's still not enough officers on the street. So what this will offer is millions of hours of surveillance going on at all times and in all areas. So the criticality is just because, crime is not going to slow. This is a force multiplier. Our officers not only need it and will appreciate it, but the communities need it and will appreciate it.
Okay. And were there any other comparable vendors that we looked at before?
I believe there was other vendors that we looked at, but because we have been using Flock and we had the ability to expand our existing contract, we felt that they were best suited for this.
Are they recognizing that with a package deal or a discount?
Oh, yes. Yes, this is a great question. So without going to, yes, is a simple answer.
Okay, and 2 more questions. So I recognize that we discussed nearly or about 300 of the flock cameras, maybe 3 of the mobile cameras, 3 drones, if I have the numbers.
4 drones.
4 drones. So can you just share with the board and to the public whether these are numbers that we approximated or estimated, or that we really dug into looking at the data to determine if these are the actual numbers needed to support the community that we all serve?
Yes, ma'am. And we worked, I say we, our crime analysis unit did a ton of work coming up with what we needed and what we felt like was appropriate coverage. So these are absolutely crucial needs based on the crime data, the calls for services, the tire dumping, the street racing issues. It was a multi-layered approach through crime analysis where we came up with the determination for what we needed in this package.
Okay. And then my last question, which is more of a comment, but the $16 million looks a lot like 18.9 to me.
Right. Well, the $16 million didn't have 2 additional drones.
Okay.
And so we had the conversation. We literally, we were looking at $16.9 million. But when we talk to ourselves and we look at the, what does that increment mean over 10 years compared to the impact that it will have, we determined, let's do this now. If we're serious, which we all are, let's do this now.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions or comments from any commissioner?
I just have one comment.
Commissioner Davis Johnson.
And okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, just have one comment. I've looked at the impact of this type of technology in Gwinnett County, and it has significantly been successful and impacted crime. And if one other person called me about tire dumping, I just, so I think that this is the move to the future, because and the most important thing, I think, is the safety of the public and public safety if we utilize this. But, technology is the future. And if you can have a drone flying around, that can spot what needs to be spotted. I think that this is something that the community has been asking for, not this particular package, but this is what they want. They want to be safe. They want to be listened to. And I'm sure, and I know that they want the technology, because as soon, I remember when Ring was first presented to us, I was a little hesitant because it was something that I did. But, I mean, who doesn't have ring? You know? And so that has really helped individuals. I know everybody in my neighborhood have rings. And so I just think it's something that we should have. The sooner we can get it started, the best. They put a lot of effort in determining the needs. And I think the public is supportive of it. And with that, if there's no other comments.
It looks like there is.
Okay.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying, Commissioner Marita Davis-Johnson. I think we are excited about this opportunity. I know it might feel right now that we're moving kind of fast, but we've been talking about the Real-Time Crime Center all year, not knowing that we would be making this decision. I think Friday we didn't know we'd be making this decision today. But the presentation was really good, great delivery, Chief Patrick. Thank you to Flock and administration for helping put this together and really putting this information out there in a way that is easy to digest and will help the community understand why we're making such a large investment, because this is what that is, and that how it will impact their safety and also the safety of our public safety, and just in general improve the community. But I understand it is a lot of money, but we're here to make those hard calls, right?
And it's 10 years.
And it's over 10 years, so that was helpful.
And I think we have two more comments. Commissioner Marita Davis-Johnson did make a really good point about code, or excuse me, about tires, which made me think about code, and if they would be granted access, or if there have been conversations with them to help them improve their service delivery as well.
Yes, ma'am. We work with code all the time. They will have access.
Wonderful. Commissioner Patrick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Final question, Chief. I know some jurisdictions have installed license plate reader cameras on their vehicles. Is there any contemplation, or would this contract allow for such a thing if you thought it was necessary? You got it. Okay. Thank you.
They're a different vendor, but we do.
You got it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, and I just want to say thank you guys for waiting to propose this while I am the chair of the ERPS committee. Okay, any final comments or questions from any commissioner? All right, I think Commissioner Marita Davis-Johnson want to give the motion.
She's going to take my motion.
No, I said go for it. I was waiting for you.
Okay, well, I just say this. This Johnson will make the motion.
This Johnson seconds.
All in favor? Aye. Congratulations, you have a recommendation for approval.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Oh,
my apologies.
See,
You know, if it wasn't for Chief with his charming presentation, backed up by the Flock Jet dudes, I mean, I'd be upset, but no, I'm good.
he didn't have but 4 items. He said that today.
We are well over.
If 4 o'clock works for a PEWI starting time, I would be, that works? Okay.
Didn't you say?
I am not aware, but I do want to ask the question to those in the room. Is there any agenda item that is urgent that needs to be addressed before we end the meeting?
I don't believe so. This was
Yeah, we did, was that 1343? Yes, okay. All right, so all other items on the agenda. Oh.
Bright Futures.
Yes, ma'am. What was that item number?
I can be very brief. This is seeking the committee's approval of the funding for our leadership development program. We're doing it in partnership with Columbus State University, and they're ready to go. And we're looking at launching that leadership program starting in October. And so we need to get the contract can't get signed until we have the money approved.
Just for those of us who are new to county, can you share a little bit, and I know we're running short of time, but just share a little bit about the benefits of the Leadership Development Program?
Oh, yes, and I'll be happy to provide you with a PowerPoint presentation as well. But this is our elite training program. It affords the county the opportunity to cultivate a group of employees who are able, ready, and willing to ascend to higher level positions when the opportunity affords itself. And it started in 2015. The first graduating class was in 2016. To date, we've had 189 graduates, and at least 40% of them have moved up to higher positions in DeKalb County. For example, Scott Shelton, T.J. Sigler, Jadia Haynes, Chief Murray, who's the chief judge for the juvenile court. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Robert Gordon, they all went through this program, and it really helps us to afford employees who are in the county an opportunity to become deputy directors and directors when those opportunities are available.
And is this both for an opportunity for those who work under the administration as well as the BOC?
Oh, absolutely. It's open countywide. The university will do the actual selection. There's an application process, and the university does the selection. In the past, there have been 2 tracks, aspiring managers and emerging executives, and this year we added a 3rd track, soaring executives. So yes. And we'd be happy to share all of that information with the committee at a later date. We just need the money in place.
Commissioner Johnson.
One of the Johnsons. Just quick question. So this is for $300,000, and that's for this 1 year?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, how many
participants?
Yeah, can that support?
There are up to 20 participants in each track. 24 aspiring managers, 24 emerging executives, and at least 8 for the soaring executives. That's a new track, yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from commissioners?
How are they selected?
The university does the selection. There's an application process, and the university does the selection. There's a criteria. I think you're Commissioner, I think you familiar with it. I know Commissioner Patrick is, and they've participated because there's a graduation. There's a whole hoopla around it. And I'd be happy to share the content of the entire program and the curriculum with you. I can send it to you this week.
Wonderful. Any other questions or comments about the program? All righty. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I move to approve item 2025-1159.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
I'm making a motion to approve.
We have a first by Commissioner Johnson and a second.
Fabian, Commissioner Johnson, she wanted me to remind you that we added a new track, soaring executives, and I told her I did tell you that.
She did.
Yes.
Did you want to add anything else to that?
Just that executive leadership will appoint to that soaring executive, because we know some people that have been recently promoted into department head positions as well as deputies. So we wanted those to be fast-tracked and get the information they needed and training and development they needed.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Oh. So does your motion still stand, Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
And your second, Commissioner Davis Johnson? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations. You have a recommendation out of our committee.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so all the remaining items on the agenda we're going to have to hold in committee for the next meeting. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn. Second. I need a second out of you.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much.